Okay, so we've got something really different this time, some excerpts you sent over from this, well, fantastical story. It's wonderfully strange, but seems like there are some, deeper ideas floating around in there. Listeners want us to cut through the weirdness and get to the core, right?
Exactly. We're driving into this world with a character named Falco the Woody, and the description is, well, something. A level 999 block of wood, cheat abilities, who is supposed to be reincarnated as a girl.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to take in right off the bat.
It sounds bizarre, I know. But as we look through the text, it's clear there's this whole fascinating layer of motivation, conflict, stuff we really need to unpack. So yeah, the mission today is to understand Falco's story, this world he's in, and, what it all might be trying to say.
Right. So let's set the scene then. This place, Flat World. What are we picturing? What's the vibe?
Well, Flat World is shown as this realm where apparently, after a lot of progress, living beings and non-living things exist together. Peacefully.
Peacefully. Living and non-living.
Okay. Yeah, imagine this kind of grand-scale harmony. But the text also notes humans are fading out, becoming less common. And there's this really intriguing idea that Flat World itself is like looking for children. What do you make of that?
That the world itself is looking.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Makes you immediately ask why, doesn't it? And it seems to tie into the backstory we get about this place called Dark Night School.
Ah, yes, Dark Night School.
This was set up to reincarnate children and basically teach them about history, the real world.
And what's fascinating there is the purpose, right? Teaching these reincarnated kids about the past. But as the story goes on, we find out the school met this really violent end. It's put down to misunderstandings and, quite sharply, sheer negligence of adult humans. A lot of people died.
That paints a pretty bleak picture of human error.
It really does. And then there's another layer. This Dark Knight group that attacked the school, killed its creator. The text actually calls them an open source group. What does that suggest to you?
Open source.
Yeah.
Like decentralized, maybe. A shared idea, not a rigid hierarchy. It's kind of a modern techie term defined here.
It is, isn't it? It hints at maybe how these movements can just, bubble up. Unpredictable. And this attack, it brings us to the creator of the school himself, who has a, let's say, very unusual origin story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets even stranger, if that's possible. This creator, his body originally was just a block of wood.
A block of wood.
Yeah. The military apparently dismissed him as some weak rabbit creature. Didn't even consider him human. They actually broke him apart.
Just imagine that. Being seen as so worthless based just on your form that you're literally dismantled. That experience has got to shape you, right?
I think so.
And the fact that the school administrator then rebuilt him, that's huge. It's not just a second chance at existing. It probably gave him a totally unique viewpoint on life, on what it means to be alive. How could that not change how you see everything?
It's hard to even wrap your head around. But yeah, after he's rebuilt, his view definitely shifts. Big time. He gets convinced humans are in danger. Goes into hiding, starts watching them.
Spying, basically.
Right. And he discovers adults lying to others. That discovery seems to be the catalyst. It leads him to Flat World, trying to find some deeper truth. And then, boom, he apparently discovers something major about himself. The text is a bit vague on the specifics there.
That ambiguity is interesting. It suggests something fundamental changed in how he saw himself. Maybe his origin wasn't what he thought, or he's connected to something bigger.
Could be.
And after that revelation, he becomes head of school security, and he's constantly warning everyone about the danger humans pose. He even insists on being called the human, not just a person.
Like he's embracing this identity against humanity.
Yeah, almost like defining himself in opposition. It's quite a statement.
And he even works with the military later, recruiting humans from this place called Light Night, even though some soldiers aren't keen on it. The text calls him a true fanatic.
A fanatic, yeah. Consumed by this goal, and humans transform the planet. It's a hell of a journey from being a discarded block of wood.
It really shows how experience and belief can just completely change someone, or something.
Exactly. And this intense belief, this fanaticism, it fuels what the text calls the most evil part of his mission, which isn't just killing humans.
No, it's keeping them alive.
Yeah.
But keeping them alive on Flat World. What's your first take on that? It feels sinister.
Oh, it's deeply unsettling. It screams control, doesn't it? Maybe some twisted form of preservation, like trophies or specimens, kept but not free. And it seems linked to his feelings about children.
Ah, right. He says he hates them because they remind him of when he was a small rascal. So Maybe resentment about his own past, his own vulnerability.
Could be, but it's not straightforward, is it? Because he also struggles with finding them cute and innocent.
Yeah, that conflict is key.
There's that moment, him in the grass, asking himself, what is this? Why do I love you so much? What's going on there?
It feels like this huge tension, right, between his ideology, his mission, and just raw, maybe innate emotional responses. He's got this capacity for affection, maybe even a human-like capacity, despite wanting to wipe humans out.
And he even wants a family, which seems totally paradoxical given his stated goal.
Completely at odds.
This internal war seems to hit a peak after his best friend Winch dies and his group loses. The text says, it was that day when the truth was revealed and he became Falco the Woody, like a traumatic snapping point.
Solidifying his identity and his path.
Yeah, cementing his resolve, maybe, even with all the conflicts still churning inside. So ultimately, he lands on this devastating decision. He must kill all humans, even while part of him wishes things could be different.
Okay, so now we're looking at things more from Falco's perspective. And the narrator writing this text is pretty clear. They don't agree with his plan at all. They think it'll cause even more harm.
Yeah, they give that disturbing example, don't they? A human killing a child just out of uncertain feelings, showing the kind of chaos, fear, and confusion can unleash.
Right, sets the stage.
And against that backdrop, Falco tries to connect with someone. But his methods, well, there's something else. He offers a toy that will speak words of love, of brotherhood. How do you read that? Seems nice on the surface.
Seems very calculated to me. Like, yeah, it sounds like peace, but the message itself, just know that I love you. We were created to be brothers. We will be together forever.
It feels like he's trying to program affection, force unity on his terms, dictate the feelings.
Exactly. Programming affection, that's a good way to put it. And even though people oppose his war, Falco seems to genuinely think his plan is a fair compromise. He asks these loaded questions.
Like, do you want to live in a world without children? Do you want to leave flat world and never see a simple day? Appealing to these really basic desires for innocence, peace, normalcy.
Yeah, tugging at heartstrings. And then he paints this picture. I can be the same as you. You can live with me and the Falco the Woody. We can be a family. You can ask all you want. It sounds almost like salvation.
A tempting offer if you don't know the catch. But there is a catch, a huge one. The narrator spills it. You'll never know that the love we share is my love. The affection we have is my affection. He's not just looking for connection. He wants to create this totally artificial emotional reality.
Where other people's feelings are actually his feelings, funneled through them. That's...
Wow. Yeah. He literally says, you will think that you feel love. You will feel my love. It's pure emotional simulation. The experience might feel real to the person, but the source is him, controlling it, imposing it.
He even suggests it'll cause confusion at first, but then lead to this deep, maybe unexplainable connection. Because it's rooted in his emotions, not theirs. What does that even do to the idea of connection itself?
It throws up massive questions, doesn't it, about authenticity? What is love if it feels real but the origin is manipulated? Does the feeling count if the source is deceptive? How can you truly connect with someone under those terms?
So wrapping up this deep dive, we're left with Falco the Woody. This incredibly complex figure, born from trauma, longing for connection, yet planning something deeply disturbing based on control and simulated feelings.
Yeah, he wants family, wants belonging, but his path involves subjugating humanity through these manufactured emotions. It's a profound contradiction.
And it's that last part, that intentional manipulation of love and affection, that really sticks with you. Falco saying others will feel his love without ever knowing it. That's the really provocative thought here.
Definitely. It makes you really ponder, what are the implications of simulated emotions? How does it stack up against genuine connection? If, like Falco says, you think you feel love, but you're actually feeling his love, what does that truly mean? What is real connection if the source is playing puppet master with your heart?
A deeply unsettling question to think about long after we finish here.